Mind Spirit with me. I'm Jane. I hope that you're doing so well wherever you are in this exact right now. I'm here in Costa Rica and I am inside now. I've been outside most of the morning and I was like, I want to go inside. I want to take a break. So that's what I'm doing. So hopefully wherever you are enjoying it or relaxing or whatever it is. Want to remind you that wherever you are in this right now is the perfect place. Nowhere else you're supposed to be, nothing else you're supposed to be doing. You are doing a-okay. Excuse me. So something I wanted to talk about, and I don't know if I've ever talked about it. Um, but it's so important, and I'm finding that wherever I travel, wherever I go, wherever I am, I have something that I always bring with me. And it's something that ow, my hair's getting long. It was like leaning on it. I feel it. Anyway, um, but I bring this with me everywhere I go, and every time I use it, it helps to bring me back to center. It helps to set my mood in a more grounded way or a more connected way, a more peaceful way. It just feels really good. And it's aromatherapy. So simple. And I'm very particular about my aromatherapy, so I'm going to talk a little bit about a few different aspects of aromatherapy. So I grew up um, where my parents back in the day smoked in the house. That had its own aroma. And then they stopped smoking in the house. One of the parents quit smoking. And and then one day back, it must have been in the 90s, the late 90s, some company invented plugins. Actually, it may have been the early 90s because I remember the plugins that like they were square and you like peeled it off like the little small things of jelly. And so you would put this little plug in the outlet and it would heat up just enough so that it would permeate throughout the home and make it smell like cinnamon or raspberries or whatever. And then I remember Bath and Body Works came out with their version of that, and then Glade came out with the Glade plugins. And then they had like these big oil things, and you plug them in, and it would make your house smell good. And and so that was when I really got introduced to aromatherapy. Over the years, as I've done more research on the scientific support that aromatherapy offers us, the more I am committed to using aromatherapy in my health and wellness and being very mindful of what I am using for my aromatherapy because some aromatherapy is actually a neurotoxin and a carcinogen, meaning that some aromatherapy slash room air fresheners and stuff like that are literally killing us. Legit. They are causing cancer. It is a toxic chemical that is allowed in the United States because the United States allows toxic chemicals to be put in everything. I mean, look at our food supply. Like, it's not even food. It's like plastic in a container that they call it food. It's not even real. Not all of it, but a lot of it. So, when I share this, and if your first question is, well, how can the government allow that? The government makes money off of us being sick. So that it's all about money. They don't actually care. So putting that aside, like, how can they do that and why? It doesn't matter. They just care about money. But what we get to do is make conscious decisions on how we do take care of ourselves so that we can live a healthy life. So I stopped using um, the Glade plugins and the Bath and Body Works oil, whatever plug-in things and all that stuff. and I switched to oils and I would diffuse oils. I didn't know at the time when I started using oils that even the oils that you get makes a difference. I was getting some cheap oils and they felt better in my body than the plugins did. Oh yeah, and don't forget the timeline that I guess there were the scented candles, the Yankee candles. I had Yankee candles for days. Every room had its own like theme smell. I'm just like, I can believe, and there's a part of me that's like, I cannot believe I was doing that shit to myself. I just didn't know any better. I didn't know. So I continue to progress in my aromatherapy products in ways that became healthier and healthier and more medicinal, actually. So, for example, if we smell lavender when we are stressed out or experiencing anxiety, we can alleviate the stress and anxiety. The aromatherapy has properties that has been scientifically proven to actually reduce stress and anxiety. But here's the key. It has to be natural. I can smell a fake scented lavender candle and it might make me feel a little bit better, but it's also messing with my brain. It's messing with my endocrine system, my hormone system, my immune system. It's fucking with my body. It's fucking with my brain. It's actually doing more harm. I don't want to do that. But I can literally go buy a plant, a lavender plant, and I can smell it. And I have a plant in my house. How easy is that? Now, for me, so I have a lavender plant. Um, Not here in Costa Rica, but I do in North Carolina. And um, I go out there and I smell it, and it's great. You can also take the flowers and you can put them in a little bowl and you can rub your fingers in them and smell it, and it literally it works. They also make very natural essential oils. doTERRA, Young Living. I'm sure there are a couple other ones, but they're made with real organic, like lavender, whatever plant, and they're made with oils that aren't petroleum based. They're usually like coconut oil based. So you can put them on your skin, you can diffuse them. If you breathe them in, it's not going to kill you. Hey, they don't have heavy metals in them. Yay. So aromatherapy is really important. And like all of this that I'm sharing, please keep in mind that what the kind you get matters for real. So I have I bring with me incense. The incense that I get looks like little chunks of plants mushed together because they're handmade on real pieces of wood, not chemically treated sticks. Every time, every time I yawn. Um, I also I'll have Palo Santo or sage, or you can even, and you light them in this, in the smoke, clears the air, first of all, and it leaves a lovely odor, it leaves a lovely, lovely aroma. Um, you could, um, also have like I use a little seashell and I'll put sage in that with lavender flowers and sometimes even rose petals. And I'll light that, blow out the flame, and then the smoke of the lavender, the rose, and the sage smells really good and it feels really good. It actually has medicinal properties. I have a rosemary plant at my house, so I can rub the rosemary and I can smell it, and it just like, whew, it just feels really good. You can take eucalyptus and hang it in your shower, so every time you take a shower, you get this whiff of eucalyptus when all the steam hits the and the hot water hits the eucalyptus. Um, when we use plant medicines for aromatherapy, we reap such a greater benefit. Um, Also, think about if you smell a fresh lemon, like it gives you energy, right? I would much rather, for my body, right? Like I'm doing a whole lot of work to keep my body clean, especially with all the shit that I put in it in my life between the drugs and alcohol and whatever I would do. Like I really want to give it like stuff that feels good and nourishes it in ways that are just like Shazam. So like if I'm feeling tired, I will smell a lemon, a real lemon, or put lemon in my water, or like squeeze lemon. Like I enjoy that. Um, Before I drink a cup of coffee, because coffee is going to mess with my adrenals. So I don't want to do that. I would much rather take some deep breaths and smell some lemon and feel like I just drank an espresso. I would much rather do that. So this aromatherapy thing, it can completely change our emotional state. If I am walking somewhere and I smell a cigarette, I get activated, I get annoyed, um, for many reasons. One, it burns my brain, it burns my nose, it burns my lungs and my like esophagus area, because apparently my body doesn't like all the toxic chemicals they put in cigarettes. Who knew? Um, Coming from a girl that used to smoke a pack a day, I'm really grateful that my body has chosen to not like poisons. I'm really grateful for that. If I walk in a house and somebody just bakes some chocolate chip cookies, I feel good. Also makes me want to eat a chocolate chip cookie, but it feels really good. Uh, if I smell um frankincense and myrrh, like incense style, the resin, I love using that. Um, it feels very ceremonial. It just brings me into like this deep space of reverence. Um, I I clean a lot with vinegar and vinegar based stuff. So when I smell vinegar, not only do I think of like buying Easter eggs, but it feels very clean to me. So, if I smell beer on somebody's breath, that doesn't feel good to me. It brings up a lot of really unsafe feeling memories. So our nose literally goes, when we smell something, it goes up to our brain and it moves into the pineal gland. It plays with our memory big time, and we know that. You know that if you've ever had a partner or a bestie and they had a certain cologne or perfume and then you smell it, you're like, whoa, you know? So aromatherapy can use for healing. Again, my encouragement is to go as natural as humanly possible because it goes to the brain. Like, of all the things that we don't want to put in our brain, y'all, toxic chemicals. Yeah, pretty much. And I know it's so common, and I know so many people that are still in this like mindset that everything has to smell like a lot. It has to smell like a lot because they don't know that humans smell okay as humans. I mean, yeah, if your armpits smell like onions, put a little baking soda on it. I don't know. Like, I get that. But like we will over fragrance everything so much. I walked into a place and my dentist, I think I told this story, but they were burning a candle in the room that I was supposed to get whatever dental service done, and I couldn't breathe and had to leave, and I like turned really pale and was like coughing up shit. It was nasty. And they were like, "How do you live?" I'm like, "I don't go places that put toxic chemicals in the air. Why do you do that?" And they're like, "It smells like a dentist office." Well, yeah, it's good. I would much rather a dentist office smell like a dentist office than a pizza place. But whatever. Anyway, so we can use these products, these natural gifts from the earth, as aroma therapy. It's called therapy for a reason. It helps and supports our body, y'all, like in a really big way. Such good stuff. So, you know, um, smelling basil, fresh cut grass. Um, smelling dirt, the smell of right before the rain starts and you can smell the petrichor is what it's called. That smell of like when rain just begins, the smell of so much stuff, so much stuff. But if I'm overspraying and I'm lighting my Yankee candles and I've got all my plugins, then I can't actually make memories with naturally occurring aromas. And then we're cutting ourselves off from really beautiful memories that we could be making. Like, can you imagine if you went into grandma's house and she's baking your favorite cake? Okay, and you go in there and you're like, whoa, you can smell your favorite cake, and you see her in there and you see her like with all the cake stuff, and you're just like, oh my God, she's baking this cake for me. It's my favorite. Oh my God. And you just you create this memory with that. And then you eat the cake and it's got its own smell while you're eating it. And it's just like, yes, right? So good. Now imagine, same scenario. You walk into grandma's house, she's baking a cake, and she is like chain smoking cigarettes, and the windows are closed. That changes the memory. You don't really fully smell the cake, the love that she is putting into this thing that she is making that has a really beautiful smell. Same thing. Grandma's making the cake. She got 15 candles burning and some Glade plugins going. So now you end up getting a headache and you don't know why. And you can't fully smell the cake because you have all these other scents going on. It changes the way your taste buds would actually experience the cake. Why would we choose to do that? And we choose to do that, here's the answer, is because they market it. They tell us that we stink unless we smell like a Glade plug-in, or unless we have Axe body spray all on, or we put this type of cologne on because this is what the ladies love, or whatever. It's all just marketing. It's all just consumerism. And it's all still feeding the thing that tells us that it's okay to be sick and just feed big pharma. And here we are just trying to be healthy. Like, there's a reason I got off drugs and alcohol. I want to fucking be healthy. So then why would I choose to put other chemicals and toxins in my body? Because I believe what some commercial tells me, that some socks might smell bad. Then you wash your socks. And that's another thing, I see people, and I've been this person too. I'm just pointing out that it messes with our physical bodies. Um, but using, um, well, cleaning products. Yo, there's this one cleaner called Fabuloso. I tell you what, that is some foul smelling shit right there. But there are so many cleansers, whether it's household cleansers or the laundry detergent. I held a gala this one time years ago, and this dude that I was totally crushing on showed up, and I was like, "Oh yeah, so good, hey," and said hey to him and gave a hug, and I was like, "Oh God, like what is that smell?" And I asked other people, I was like, "Did you hug so and so? Did you see him?" And they were like, "Yeah." I was like, "Did you notice anything?" And they were like, "That smell," because all my friends like use more natural stuff anyway. And we were like, what is that?" And so like a couple days later when he and I were hanging out, I was like, "Yo, bro, like what is that?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, I had just done all the laundry." It was his laundry detergent and fabric softener. I couldn't hug him. I couldn't be near him. In fact, I've become so sensitive to chemicals that he had to change his laundry detergent because if I hugged him with his regular Tide or whatever laundry detergent and fabric softener, which side note, fabric softener literally puts wax around each fabric of your clothing to keep it soft. your body is absorbing that wax. That wax isn't just like candle wax made of soy. That is petroleum. You're literally putting petroleum with fragrance, two things that our body is literally not made to move through the system. And the body, because the skin is the biggest organ, it's not like it puts up a protective barrier. It fucking absorbs that shit. Literally makes us sick. But anyway, so I would hug him, and wherever my face or whatever touched his clothes, I would have like a rash. And I was like, bro, like, love you, mean it, but I can't. Like, I can't hug you if you have that. Like, if you switch to natural stuff, hugs all day. And so he did, and I'm grateful for that. And now he's not he can't switch back because now he's become sensitive to it, because that's what happens when we get away from toxic things. We become more sensitive to it. Go back to the substances. I don't drink alcohol anymore. Now, like, well, I don't drink alcohol now, but like last time I drank alcohol, however many years ago, I had a glass of wine. I threw up. I'm sensitive to it. I tried to smoke a cigarette. I don't even know how many years ago. And I was like, oh God, bleh. Like this is nasty. Like I was so much more sensitive to it. Um, like anything that I used to do, I'm more sensitive to it because my body is getting healthier and healthier and like cleaner and cleaner. And to me, that's what we're here to do. Like we're here to enjoy life, enjoy things that smell good. I get it. And the longer I'm here in a healthy body, the more and longer I can enjoy the things that smell good, right? So I share all this because aromatherapy is potent medicine. It literally can uplift us. It can bring us back to a safe place. It can calm us. It can soothe us. You know, if you ever have a headache, if you take natural high quality peppermint oil, okay, not eating a peppermint sugar bomb candy thing, but if you take high quality natural peppermint oil that's in a carrier like coconut or yeah, like coconut oil, and you have a really bad headache, if you rub it on your temples, it'll alleviate the headache. Okay, that's great. Smell some lavender, put peppermint on your head, your headache goes away. Sweet. Like, who doesn't want that? Um, let's see what else. Um, lemon, I mentioned that. Lavender is a common one. Rosemary is a really good one. I love the smell of basil. That just, um, any citrus fruit, I love the smell of. And, even like cinnamon and cloves, like you could take a pot, put water in it, put some like orange rinds, the peel, put a cinnamon stick and some cloves in there and put it on like a super low heat. And next thing you got potpourri. Y'all remember potpourri? That was like the natural stuff until it started to get like they would put like whatever chemicals on it. But I remember babysitters that would boil like simmer whatever like a water with all these cloves and cinnamon and things like that, and their house just smelled amazing. It was awesome. And it wasn't hurting or killing anybody. It wasn't messing with anyone's nervous system or their anything. It was just good. So we can do all this. And if you have been living with a lot of synthetic fragrances and you start to move to more natural, you might notice other smells in the world. Like you might notice what dirt actually smells like, what the rain actually smells like, what you smell like. Like the other day I was sitting over at my friend's house and I was like, oh, that's my armpit. Smelled the other one. The other one didn't smell the same. And I was like, I'll be darned. Who knew? You can have two different smelling armpits. It's great. You know? I mean, it wasn't like it didn't smell the best. It didn't smell like roses, but who cares? And just wash them and they're fine again. And, but if I had been like so covered in, perfumes and scented lotions and all these things, I wouldn't have had that fun little learning about myself. And that's the thing, like I'm so close to the river. Like, it's amazing how how much less one can shower if you have access to like clean water in a river and you literally just get in the water and then you come out and you're like clean. That's cool. And I'm more sensitive. So like then I come in here and I light this incense and I'm smelling it. It's got like rose and Palo Santo and I don't even know what else. It's just supernatural stick. And I'm just loving it. Like, and that's another thing. Like, my hair will absorb that smoke. Like, of all the things that I want my hair to smell like, I want it to smell like delicious, earthy goodness. I want it to smell like clean. I want it to smell like sage or Palo Santo or incense or curry if that's what I'm cooking. Like, I want it to smell like me. I don't want it to smell like Aquanet hairspray because that's not real. And if we are tuned to like real sense, our other senses become more sensitive because we are not creating inflammation in the body. So, how interesting is that? That we would possibly be able to hear better or see better if we went to natural methods of aromatherapy, that we would digest things better, that we would have clearer thoughts, clearer ideas, clearer solutions if we went to natural aromatherapy. Because if we're using fake scents everywhere and harsh chemicals, we become so inflamed, it muddies our thoughts. The inflammation, literally imagine mucus. Like if you ever get a cold and you can't hear as well, things don't taste as vibrant. You might feel tired and sluggish. So try it, right? Like this is body, mind, spirit, the upliftment of the mood, the memories that can be made, the energy that can change legit with just some aromas. I recommend, like I said, I always have something going. I don't always have something going, but I always have something with me. Sage, Palo Santo, one of the incense sticks, or and I use essential oils. Like I use them on myself. Um, and even my deodorant, it's like this totally natural deodorant, and it's like, what is it? Frankincense and copal, I think, or something. Frankincense and myrrh. I don't remember, but I love it. Like I don't wear perfume because I put the deodorant on, and I'm like, oh my God, my armpits smell so good, and it's just natural. Literally, there's no chemicals in it. So it's my invitation. Give it a shot, give it a whirl, see how you like it, see if you like it. Try aromatherapy. If you've been using a lot of synthetic fragrances, my invitation would be to start to remove them from your life and see if your health improves. If you're on this path of recovery, meaning you're recovering from childhood and you're creating your brand new life as healthy and vibrant as possible, why not take out some synthetic candles and neurotoxins? Why not up-level your human experience? So that's my invitation. Try it. Don't try it. Tell me what you think. Leave a comment. So, and if you think of any other like really awesome aromatherapy stuff, like put it in the comments. Like let's see if one of y'all think of something that I didn't think of. It's like salt air. God, when you go to the beach and that just like that salt air, it's like medicine. You go to the mountains and that crisp, clean mountain air. Whoa. You can also go in the middle of a city, you smell all the smog and stuff. Ooh, that's a smell. Creates a memory nonetheless. Doesn't feel as good in the body, you know? So I'm sending you so much smelling good love wherever you are. I hope that you keep taking care of yourselves, take care of each other, and remember that you're loved and that you smell so good. All right, I will see you all soon.